Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Lee, welcome to Car UK, and you join me today as we've just gone and bought the 2008 Ford Fiesta. Now, we bought this last week at Aston Barclay Online on the online auction. We've just been to the sale today, had a look round and try and buy some stock, so please check out that video in the link below. So we got the car out the auction, all paid for the Fiesta. So we paid £450 for this Fiesta, which is a little bit more than I would usually pay, but at the moment you're having to give a little bit more for it. And also, I've been trying to get hold of a little small 5-door car, especially stuff under £1,000 at the moment you can sell on again, because I'm getting asked all the time for this stuff because everyone's sort of after cheapy cars at the moment. So I had to sort of go really pay a bit more for it and buy it, and I wanted to get down to the auction as well and do a video there, so it all worked out quite well in the end. So we've got the car out, let's go and have a look at it, see what we bought, and see if we can try and squeeze a little bit of money out of it, and hopefully we haven't bought a lemon. Here she is guys, the 2008 Ford Fiesta 1.2 petrol that we bought from Aston Barclay Online last week. Like I said, I've got it out of the auction. I've brought it back to near close to my workshop, to be honest, because it was covered in ice and you couldn't really see it properly, so we just cleaned it off. So we'll do a quick walk round of it. I have driven it already. I know it does need something blatantly obvious, which we'll get onto in a minute, but let's have a quick look round it first and go from there. So straight away off the bat, we definitely a number plate. We've got a crap number plate there. It's not so much that would fail an MOT, but that there would. Where the dirt's got in a disform, that character there on the letter A, that would fail an MOT. So he's put a number plate on it. £7 for another number plate. It's not really going to break the budget. Cap's missing on for the towing eye cover. We can get one of them online. They're easy to get hold of. You can paint them, unless it's in the car somewhere. Bodywork wise, it's not horrendous. Bear in mind this is done 150,000 miles, or just over 150,000 miles in fact, and it's got a very short MOT. So you know, you got to think at this sort of level, you can't sort of be too picky on the paintwork and the bodywork. It's just a cheapy car. I mean, to be honest with you, going around it, it's not too bad. I mean, it's been done, it's had a bit of paint in places but over the years, but it's not horrendous. Tyres are a little bit of a concern. They're all just about legal, so like this one here is 2.5 mil. It's not great. Going down the sides, we're okay. Got a little bit of trim missing off the door there. Space saver, I've got a spare tyre on the car, that shouldn't be there. Hopefully there's a wheels in the boot with a trim, because that's not the right size tyre either, so even though it's a good tyre on it, it's no good because it's not matching to the axles. We need to get another tyre for it. Bumper, it's been painted, this bumper has. It's not horrendous, it's okay. It's just sort of like a DIY job, but it matches up reasonably alright. It's presentable, I suppose the car is. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not rotten, it's not got corroded, it's not got loads of damage on it. I mean, there's little nitpicking bits here, we could say, little dints and stuff, but you know, this is an old car, it's a cheapy car. This is not a car that's going to be sold for thousands of pounds. It's just a runabout for someone who can get a couple of years more use out of it if we can get a ticket on it and sort of get it through the workshop. That's the aim of it. The back's alright, again, relatively clean. We've got one key for it. Open her up. Here we go. So we've got the wheel trim there, that's good news. And we got the rim. We've not got loads of rims anyway, so we could, we've got a rim there, so we're alright. That tyre's probably knackered, why it's in there. Again, it doesn't look great either, so more tyres needed. Start motor's been replaced. Got a crack in the casing, so someone's tried hammering it to get it going one day and broke the casing. Again, crack in the bumper there, but you know, where do you go with something like that? We're not really going to put a bumper on it at this sort of level. You know, the main thing we need to be doing on this is getting it through an MOT and getting it right. That's where the money's going to be thrown at this. Tyre, not great again. 2.5 mil maybe at best, perished. Not a good tyre. Panel straight, no rot again. No rot, no dents. It's okay, you know, for this mileage, age. It's okay. Tyre, that's on death's door. I mean, that's literally on the limit. Ball on the outside edge, that needs replacing. Be honest with you, these tyres are shot. Let's be honest, they're all just about legal, but I have got an idea for that. I've got a set of tyres on an old Honda Jazz around the back of the workshop that I'm scrapping. The car is that bad, it's not even worthy of a video. It barely runs. It's a pile of junk that's took in part exchange, but it has got 4 decent 15-inch tyres on it, so they'll go on this. So we can switch them tyres over. That won't cost us anything. That'll save us probably about 130–40 quid over buying new tyres. So that'll help. That'll help with the budget, because we've got to be so careful with the budget on this. We can't go splashing hundreds of pounds on this. We've got to keep the budget tight. Otherwise, we'll just be doing this up and selling it on for no money. It's a good, honest little old car. It's got like 125 Z-Tech engine in it, quite reliable. This is not a bad thing. I think it's quite presentable for an old car. it'll do someone a good turn, I'm sure. Let's have a quick look inside. It's starting to rain now. Right, here we go. So we have done 159,000 miles. That is a lot of miles for an old car. But she starts up, she fires into life, all the warning lights go off. We've got 84 miles of fuel in it, so we've got a bit of petrol. And in fairness, it sounds sweet as a nut. The 1.25 engine they use in these, I mean, them engines have been around since the mid-90s. And to be fair, I think they're a really good engine. They've never really been an engine to be renowned for any sort of unreliability. They're quite good. Certainly better than some of the modern Ford engines you get, blimey. So, yeah. I mean, I've driven this already, engine-wise. You know, I'll let you into a secret. It's fine. It's not really giving me any concern. Right, radio working.
Just got a vague idea whether there's one or two. Just text one. Good.
Yeah, all good and working. Windows working. Driver side working. Say 5-speed manual. Got a logbook here for it. Have the paperwork. 4 former keepers. That's basically it. What was to say? It's a Fiesta style 5-door. We've got no service history, we've got nothing. That is literally all we've got. I mean, let's put it in the glove box. Nope, nothing in the glove box. You're not going to get anything service history on a car this age. I mean, to be honest with you, it really isn't going to make any difference. This is just a cheap car for someone to put an MOT on and just use for a year. You put it back in for MOT and see where you go with it. That is literally all you can do with something like this. So have a quick look under the bonnet. A couple of years more motoring out of it. That's all we can do. And if we make a little bit of profit on the way, then great. So let's rig it up, let's go for a test drive. Right, we're rigged up. Then we can safely say that starter motor's working, because that's about the 3rd time we've turned it on now, so no starter problems to worry about. Heaters, worth mentioning as well, cold day like today. They're all working as well. Now worse than getting a car with no heaters in, trying to rip a dash out to do like a heater motor or something. Horrible job. Right, let's go on the road. Like I said, I have already been on the road on this. I've driven it back from the auction, so I am aware what it drives like. So as we go along, I'll give you an update on what I found and what it's like, what we're going to do with it, and what's the next step. What our next step is and what to do with it. So as we come off the junction onto the roundabout, throw it around the bends, holds itself well, shoots off, engine's picking up okay. I can't put my foot down too much, I'll let you have a think why for a second. But we've got no knocks, we've got no bangs, suspension's okay, we've got no clunky steering, brakes, it's fine, no judder, stops in a straight line, tracking's all in good order. The car actually, honestly drives superb. For 159,000 miles, I'm quite shocked at how well this drives. I expect it to be just a little bit woolly in the steering and just maybe a bit noisy here and there and creaky. It's got none of this. I mean, literally, if you hadn't have told me what the mileage was, I would have thought this is driving like a 50-60,000 mile car. It's absolutely fine. Bar one thing, and what's that, you ask? Well, I just said I can't put my foot down too much, because what happens when I put my foot down? We just rev. Yeah, it's got a slippy clutch. That's probably why it's been put in the auction, let's be fair. So we need to put a clutch in it. Look, the bike's right at the top. As soon as I got in it at the auction, drove it out the gate, I thought, oh no, here we go. We're gonna have to put a clutch in this. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but it's not so much the cost. I mean, a clutch for this is not that dear. I could probably get a clutch for this for about 50 quid. It's not the end of the world by any means. It's just the time to do it. I mean, you can do a clutch in, you know, 3/4 of a day, half a day at a push, something like this. It's not difficult. But when you've got a busy workshop trying to get a clutch done, it's just sort of, you sort of put them off and you don't really want to get around to it. You sort of put them on the back burner. So I really hope to, I much prefer it to be something more straightforward, like a broken spring or a set of brakes. It's just more easy sort of job to get on with than putting a clutch in a car. But, you know, we're going to have to do it because the numbers are not in our favour, really. We have given a little bit too much this, I think, to be honest. Although I know the prices have gone up and it's probably worth, well, it's worth more than what it would have been a year ago. But I don't know, something doesn't quite sit right for me. We've given 450 quid for this car with all the fees. It's got a short MOT on it, literally a few days. We've we've got to put a clutch in it, so now we're at 500 quid already, and it's just pure luck that we've actually got tyres for this. You know, if we hadn't had those tyres that I've got on that Honda Jazz we can throw on this and solve that problem, we could have been spending another 100 odd quid easily on a set of tyres for it. So we can keep an eye on the budget, and hopefully, fingers crossed, if I can keep this budget down to 100 quid, buy a clutch, switch the tyres, not going to cost anything. Obviously we've got no labour to pay because we're doing the jobs ourselves. If we keep the budget down to 550, get it for the MOT with a new clutch in it, we'll make a little bit of money out of it. I mean, we're not going to make a lot of money we're not going to make a lot of money, you know. If we make 300 quid, 250 quid profit, that'll do. This is the sort of car where, you know, I'm going to put an MOT on it, put a clutch in it, and just keep it to one side, at the side of the garage. Because I must get asked 3-4 times a month for people, have you got any cheap small cars? And at the moment, I really haven't had much. What I have had is sold straight away. Right, I've pulled over. I've driven it enough now. We know what we need to do to it. We need to get a clutch in it, switch the tyres over, get it in the workshop, get underneath, go through what it needs. We're going to have to do it regardless, and just hope we've got enough profit left in it. If we get 200-300 quid out of it, great. You know, like I said, we can sell it to someone we know at the garage. I mean, look, they will sell pretty much straight away this if we just stick it in the corner. Someone will want a cheap runabout. I've got plenty of customers who ask enough for this sort of stuff, so we can sell this, no problem. And if we squeeze a little bit of money out of it, then great. Yeah, we're not going to make fortunes out of it, but, you know, it's an honest little car. It deserves to be saved and get a few more years service out of it for someone. So that's what we're going to do with it. I'm going to do a part 2 on this because it's Christmas week now. We're not going to get this in the workshop until after Christmas. And get a clutch in it, so we'll do a bit of a video on getting the gearbox out and doing the clutch, get it underneath, and a few other little jobs it'll probably end up doing in the MOT. So check out that video, guys, when it lands. I'll see you all very soon, and thanks for watching.